What is going on, everybody? This is Black Apino, the Apple Guy, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5 things I love about my GoPro Hero Black. Let's get into it. First thing we're going to be talking about is the size of the GoPro. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with GoPros or even are familiar, GoPro has pretty much changed up their lineup but kept the size the same, which is why I still love GoPros. I will probably continue to use GoPros until, I just get tired of using GoPros, but one of the main reasons why I stick with GoPro is the size. I mean, it's small, it's compact, it's easy to carry. It's a very simple way of capturing a quick video or snapping a photo without kind of having to fumble around in your purse, fumbling around, just trying to get something when you want to just do something really quick. So it's as simple just grabbing whatever you have the default setting on, which usually is video, hitting the little red button as you see there, and either recording a video or pressing a quick selection and switch from video to photo, and then doing a quick snap. It's pretty simple. It's easy. I mean, literally, this is all you gotta do when you run out of the battery. You just simply pull it out, put another one in, close it back up, and that's pretty much it. You don't have to worry about fumbling with having to pull out your DSLR's battery, putting it down, changing out your lens, do that. You just want something quick and simple. And that's one of the reasons why I love the GoPro, because it is just a quick, easy device to use. Not to mention the fact that it can be mounted in so many different ways that you just really can't do with a regular camera or a DSLR. So it has its advantages when it comes to size. You can, like I said, there's many ways of mounting it. You can use it on a suction cup and mount it on top of your car. I've seen many YouTubers who do that. And these are people who have like exotic sports cars and they just mount them on top and then they're doing 100 or so miles an hour and it doesn't fall off. I've made a few videos where I've actually had mine mounted to the bumper for a test of my exhaust and it didn't come off. I've had it on top of my hood driving down the road at 50, 60 miles an hour and it is not falling off. You can get all types of, mounts for this. It's small, it's agile, and that's one of the reasons why I will stick with GoPro. Just versatility-wise, that it's compact and easy to carry. Now, the next reason why I still love my GoPro and will continue to is video. Obviously, they all do video recordings. The Hero, or the white, the silver, the black. The difference is this one does 4K at 60 frames, whereas the 6 does it at 30, and the white does it at 1080. I'm sorry, I meant to say that the gray is the 5. I'm so used to saying that the Hero 5 or the GoPro 5 because I'm just not used to the terminology of Hero's white and gray is the Hero 5. So it's gonna happen eventually, occasionally. So forgive my mess up. It's just I'm so used to it being called Hero 5, which is why I don't know why they changed it. But yeah. So basically, when it comes to video-wise recording, the 7 can do 4K at 60 frames as well as all the lower resolutions, just like the GoPro White and the GoPro Silver. But the Silver being only able to do 4K at 30 frames, whereas the White just does it at 1080 at, I believe, 60 and 120. So the main difference between the 7 when it comes to recording is the ability to use what is known as the hyper smooth function, which, if you're not familiar with that, in the past with the GoPros, you've had this issue with stability. So where you're simply just walking, and even though you're holding it steady, the video still seems kind of shaky. It's like wobbling, or it seems like it's like you're in an earthquake. And so what GoPro did was they actually fixed this by putting what is known as hyper smooth stability into the 7. Unfortunately, it only works with the GoPro 7 Black. Does not go on the Silver or the White. They still have stability, but you won't get the hyper smooth. Now, the only way to actually know if you're in hyper smooth, if you have hyper smooth on, is you have to go into literally your menu function and actually select it. So as you can see right now, I am in 1080 at 60. Basically tap on that middle one, then you tap on the resolution in frames per second. As you can see, the little blue lining on the top indicates that I have hyper smooth ability. Now this only works on certain frame rates. It won't work on, like, say you want to do, sorry, I got a piece of hair stuck in my mouth. Hate it when it happens. Now, when it comes to certain frame rates, it only works on the lower ones. You can't really do it on higher frame rates, such as 120 and 240. And the way you'll know that is, say you're shooting at 1080 at 60, but say you want to do your frame rate at, say, 110 or 120. What's going to happen is that you're going to click on the 120, and then as you can see, it's going to pop up standard stability. Now, it can't do it at higher frame rates. Nor if you try to do it at 240, it's going to say stabilization is not, is not available at this high frame rate. So depending on the frame rate and the resolution, basically is what you can use a hypersmooth now. I've learned that when you do the 4K, initially what happens is that when you go to the 4K and then it says 60 frames, it says stability not supported. There's actually a way of actually changing that. It's by default it does that, but there's a way of actually changing that to where it would actually say hypersmooth is available. What it is it's a quick it's a quick fix, I guess. It's pretty weird how you do it. But on the top corner here it says the aspect ratio is 16:9. You tap that, and then you go 4:3, and see how it switches to 4K at 30 frames. Click it back to 30 frames, and then it says stability not supported. Click back to the aspect ratio. 16:9, obviously it's supported. Click on 60 frames, and there you go. It sets it back to hypersmooth. It's weird by default. I don't know why it doesn't automatically do that, but it's just a quick fix. So if you wanted to do 4K at 60 frames and wanted to do the hypersmooth, when you first initially set it, it will not support it. You just basically just go change your aspect ratio. It switches the 4K from 60 to 30. Then you go back and change it back to 16:9, hit the 60, and voila. That's pretty much how it works. And it does do some pretty good video. It does some pretty good video stabilization at 30 and 40 or 30 and 60 frames, as well as in 1080 at 60 and 30. So if your computer is unable to do 4K resolution on your screen, which pretty much most people who have an everyday computer can't, the resolutions at 1080. There's nothing wrong with doing it at 1080 at 60 frames if you keep the hypersmooth on, and it makes it look a lot better. Now, when it comes to number 3, when it comes to photos, I haven't really done too many photos with it because I didn't really buy this for the photo aspect of it. Although you can do photos on it, it does a pretty good job of just capturing. You can use the touch integration to zoom in on a photo or zoom in on something and then tap the red button and then get a video record or a photo of it. It's not too bad. But then again, I've never really used it for specifically the video or the picture photo. I've never used it. I didn't buy it specifically for the picture aspect. I really bought it specifically for the video aspect. So from what I've seen, though, picture-wise, it does a pretty good job of taking pictures. It's a 12 megapixel lens or a 12 megapixel camera as well, so you can also tune and change some of the ISOs, the color grading, all that by just simply going into the settings and then just kind of turning on Pro Tunes and then going through all that. I just don't really want to do that because this is not why I bought it. So that's one of the reasons why I can't really give a good consensus on it, because I just never really used the photo. And when it comes to usability wise, as I said before, with the size, it's fairly easy. One button, hit record, or if you want to go into taking a photo really quick, what you do is on the side here, it says mode. As you see, you click, it's in video, it goes to photo, and then the screen changes. And then as you can see from the front, it shows you a picture of the photo and not a recording thing. And then if you want to go press the mode button again, it goes back into time lapse, and then again you get on the front, you get like a little, looks like a little bell. That's your time lapse. And when it comes to other interface and other settings, it's pretty much just basically you swipe down and then you hit preference, and pretty much you can do whatever you need to do directly from the app or from the device itself. You can do connections, general. You can turn on voice control, touch command. I mean, pretty much everything you need to do is straight from the app or from the GoPro itself. So, and when you're done, you basically just swipe all the way back up the top, press a little arrow, swipe up, and you're good to go. So that is the number 4 reason why I love my GoPros. Is on the fly, change something really quick, and that's it. Another feature also that it has is you can landscape now, or portrait if you want to do your photos or videos in portrait. It now allows you the option of doing that, as well as it has the live function. So basically what the live function means is that basically you can use your GoPro to live stream. Now, by default, when you do this option, it only allows you to do the Facebook. You actually have to go into the app to connect this via the GoPro app to switch it to YouTube and have it connected to your account. So it's a cool feature. Depends on how often you might want to use it, because you have to consider battery drainage. So if you have just the one battery on it, I really wouldn't recommend trying it, or at least trying it on a lower resolution. But then again, it is YouTube, so you can really only do it in 1080 if it allows you, or 720, I believe, is what the default is for live streaming on YouTube with these. So again, as long as you have another extra set of batteries, you should be fine. But if you've only got just the one battery, you might want to limit it in some cases. So, and then the number 5 reason why I love these is accessories. Just like with all other previous generation of GoPros, whether you had the 5, the 6, the Hero Session, and all that, the accessories still work. The same housing that came with the 6 and the 5, same one that comes with this. You get the same grip. You can get the same stuff that worked with your previous ones you can use with this. And again, there's tons of accessories that you can use for this, as I mentioned before. Suction mounts. There's a GoPro backpack called the Secret that you can store your gear in. It has a strap harness where you can mount your GoPro, and a chest harness that comes for free with it. If you want to chest harness it, you can get what is known as an El Grande pole and kind of stick it on the backpack and kind of get those better shots, you know, that you normally would want to hold up. They would literally just angle it in the way you'd want to angle it, and then you can get pretty much your wide shots or videos with that. Micro SD cards, you can get, you can still use the same micro SD cards. Batteries, whether you're buying a third party or the official products of GoPro, they all still work with the GoPro. So those are really the main 5 reasons why I love my GoPro, and will continue to use my GoPros for pretty much everything. Obviously, I have my point and shoot, which I also will start to use more often now as well. But I can also have the option of using these as well when my battery runs out on my point and shoot and I need to charge it up. I have my trusty GoPros that I can go to. So again, this is Black Apino, the Apple Guy. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Please like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss the content, videos that I come out with, and have a good one.